Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA's.
And, Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. Mixon with a first down carry. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
They're going to look to throw. He's got his man, Boyd. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 35.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 16 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
They've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
They run again on first down. Anderson. Sheldon Richardson there to make the play.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And a return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
70, Indy. First and 10 at the 27-yard line. Two-jet bomber. Go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And an alley to run. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, here we go. Smooth. 5.
Back to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A draw play for Mixon. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
It's a jet sweep. They get it to Green. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just
under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Anderson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Back to Mixon on 1st down. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now it's game on.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with a 1st down. They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Damian Ratley, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Great corner route there, not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Austin Seibert on for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. Those are his numbers through roughly the 1st half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense. But you know what else is happening, too? Because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. They'll look to throw here. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Hurry.
On 2nd down, it's Hunt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. Well, third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
well.
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Got his man. It's Eifert. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. He returns that punt 73 yards. And the Browns have taken the lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll drop the throw. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down, but they'll get it back.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And Eifert has it. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 44-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
Seibert on for the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But now it's third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. On the delay, it's Mixon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. Back to throw here. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On third down, Mixon. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Kareem Hunt and the rest of the offense making their way back out there. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards on the play. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense.
2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Incomplete. Intended for Damian Ratley.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Seibert's kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin up in the Meadowlands. The G-Men hosting Tennessee at MetLife Stadium. And it's the Giants who are out in front. Rashard Higgins, a touchdown reception. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they've gone to the half with the lead over the visiting Bills. The Packers trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdowns.
The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Browns to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. They'll start the third quarter on the ground with Hunt. And if there was a lane there, it closed up quickly as he stopped for no gain. Second down. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in.
Let's go. One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run again with Hunt. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, seam 6.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's caught. Beckham. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 19 yards there on the catch and run. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Hey.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Let's go. Come on.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just started in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. Darquez Denard there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. And in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game.
And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Kareem Hunt. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Here's Seibert now to add the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll drop to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Joe Mixon there out of the backfield, and it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run again with Hunt. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He finds Becker, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Damian Ratley with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Ready. Mike, 44. X3, 218, chopper.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. It's the fullback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
They'll stay on the ground, mix it again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I'm going to hit you.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
it certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays according.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A.J. Green, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Watch QB drop. Yo, go. Spoke the mic. Mike spoke.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hunt and some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10.
Jim. Greystone, travel. Get it.
He'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. This is caught at the 20. It's a gain of 35. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hunt, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. It's caught by OBJ. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Hey, orbit. Go.
Now back to throw. The quick slant caught. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Those INTs all sting, but you throw one in the red zone, I think especially as a rookie, maybe it stings a little bit more.
I think what you're saying is they don't all count the same, do they? Right? Interceptions in the red zone that you've given up points now, those are precious, so you have to learn from those and in a hurry.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Second and a yard at the 13.
2nd and 1. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That one a first down pickup of 8. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Ready. 70, Indy. Let's go. Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll look to throw here. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. They'll look to throw now on first down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's make these babies crawl.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And this won't get there, won't be on line either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. The Browns drive about to get started. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll drop the throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They'll keep it on the ground. Hunt, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional look.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's 1st down on the other side of the field. That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Browns, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, as they fall now to 1-6. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.